The problem with me is that I normally come late. This time it's fine. I don't respect the rules. So I was meant to send a presentation 3 weeks ago. I didn't. So today I had, a wonderful presentation. Normally I should have brought the 3D glasses. That would have been an amazing experience for you. No. Nothing of all this. All I have is my eye paper. So normally I have everything on there. I'll try to respect the content for the next 15 minutes. But basically what we're going to talk about today is journalism. Journalism, or more broadly, content creation. I guess here in the room, we are all content creators, or we will be. And we are probably all junior in what we do, except a few exceptions. And the title was 21st Century Journalism Beyond Content. The first thing I want to say, I have nothing against content. Content is what we will produce. So this is definitely the basis. When I say beyond content, I'm not saying content doesn't, we shouldn't pay attention to that. What I'm going to focus here is that the production of content is only one side of the coin. We need to focus on distribution. And you will understand with my talk what I meant by this. I'm junior, I made 2 books and a film, and I learned a lot. And I made many mistakes. And I think, honestly, that I'm here to share some of the mistakes I did, and maybe you can find some bit interesting what I'm going to say. But it's not the solution, of course. It's bits of solution. But for me, it is really important that in the future years, I'm going to focus on what I'm going to say today. Let's start with a small story. So a few years ago, I was in Florence, Italy, Fiesole, on the hill. There's an old abbey. And this old abbey is the research center of the European institutions here in Brussels, the Parliament, the Commission, the Council of Ministers. And 30 years ago, they created this university with 500 researchers, 100 professors, only focusing on European Union topics. And we're producing. And I was producing with my little books in my 4 walls alone, and I'm producing. When I'm producing, and then produce. And then you have this voice talking to me saying, hey, Matt, what's going on? I'm alone here. Matt, I'm one of your neuron, no? So I'm happy. I still have 1 neuron, active. Good sign. Yeah, I have a question for you. Yeah, but please ask your question. I'm working. I have to produce this doctoral thesis. I don't have time to waste here. Yeah, but exactly. How come you're working for years and years? 8 hours a day. You don't even know what's a Sunday anymore after some years. You're producing. Who's going to read your stuff? That day, in my head, it went bang, bang. It was like a revolution. Wow, we discovered the sun and the moon and everything. Wow. And basically, I said, this voice is right. 50 people are going to read my stuff. I don't want to waste my time for 50 people reading my stuff. Being a film, being a book, being an article, I want to communicate the message. And that day, that was really important. I needed to focus on distribution of the content. It's really important. Now, you might not agree with that, but I think that we need to see this coin with two elements. And why am I saying this? So basically, sometimes in life, things are really boring. Like me talking now. You say, come on, give me a break. We want to go home. I mean, it's like it seems it's routine. Nothing is happening. Sometimes in history, you have one big revolution. Gutenberg inventing the print, or you have, for instance, the French Revolution, or the Bolshevik kicking the Tsar. This has huge impact at technological level, or political level, social, economic, bams. Society is changing. Today, I believe, and it's not from me, but I repeat it so because it's so important, we are in the middle of a double revolution. The first one is digital. Content creators are now working with data which is much easier to process, much easier to store, to analyze, everything. We are children of this new world that started maybe 20, 30 years ago. First thing, digitalisation of content. The other one is the web, is internet. How we spread this content globally at the speed of light. We are in this generation where this is happening under our eyes. It's not just a question of Facebook and Twitter, and it is part of it. But the revolution happening here, we need to think about it every day, because we're going to create in this platform, right? The problem with this, and that becomes really an important problem, is the world of infobesity. What's the point to create content in a world which is saturated by content? So we have a revolution. It's amazing. We are all producing, but we are all producing 100,000 tweets every minute, 170 million emails every minute. You know, we are fed up with information. We receive, you, me here, we all receive so much information, we don't even analyze it properly. But if we are content creators, so what's the next step for us? Producing to produce. A few will work maybe for mass media, for RTBF or for Le Soir in Belgium, and that's great. They will help you to pass your message on. But if you don't work for them, 99% of the content creator, how do you do? How do you do to make your message come across? 3 years ago, when we were making the Brussels business, I was at La Rochelle, France, for sunny side of the dock. It's a market. You go there and you sell your film project. And then people say, I like it. I'm going to invest in your film. And then we go there and you have, it's a bit a room like here, but they are all commissioning editors coming from all European countries and they want to invest in film projects. And then after you have the breaks and you talk to them, and what is the message I got from these guys? Expert in the broadcast world. TV is in deep crisis. We don't know where is the audience, but not watching TV anymore. We're talking about an audience of 50 plus. Well, maybe, you know, it's not such a big change, but they said something has changed. People are not there anymore. And then they're telling me about, you know, but what's coming on? Now it's the connected TV. And the fact that yesterday you would be a journalist for the press, the radio, the TV, it would be separated worlds. Now with internet, connected TV and all this, everything becomes interconnected. You might work for radio, but filming for the radio, or even writing text, and you're working for radio. That would have been not possible a few years ago. Radio was only air, no? Waves. So basically, things are changing here. And if we think connected TV and all this, the key point here is interactivity. And you don't interact just you as content maker. And that's really now the key point of my message. All before, I think we all know this. But now, I think there is a lack of emphasis on the power of audience. Your audience is the key for your future. And the more I go forward, the more I think this is so important for several reasons. But before, just let's have a look at what was the role of the audience a few years ago. Audience was passive, receiving from radio, TV, and we know what is the message? Get the message, but shut up. There is no room for you to express yourself. The world today is completely different. We can all send our own message. You know, we are all emitters of content. So the audience can play 4 roles to me. That's really important. The first one is data. Every day, I go on something like Twitter. Not to send my information, but I use TweetDeck or Hootsuite to get information from the audience or what we call also the community. That's amazing, the information we can get from them. So the audience first is sending you data in a very interesting way and new way. Second is money. Friends of mine with crowdfunding have raised 40,000 euros. They're known by nobody in 2 months' time. If I go to a broadcaster in Belgium to get money for my film, I will get 15 to 20K. And I have to do really big stuff like this. It takes time. The battle is huge. Online, they manage to get funding from their audience, from their community. 40,000 euros if you work. It's work. You know, you need to work for that, but it's possible. third one is visibility. These guys who are paying for your content that you're going to create, they will help you to push it when it will be ready. So it's not only giving you money, it's also helping you to reach a broader network. That's very interesting. And that's a new function that an audience can basically offer you. Another point is, if you have your community, that's not for tomorrow, of course, but let's say that in a few years, you're a content creator and you have 5, 10, 15,000 people following you on this social network. When you go and talk to a mass media and you say, I've got a content and I've got a community, these guys will look at you really differently. They will say, yeah, you have a community. Nice. Come and talk. You will gain in credibility just because you have managed to deal with audience. So these 4 things, I believe, are extremely important. I am still nowhere, but as I said, I'm going to work in that direction in the coming years because I really believe it's important. Now back to this production and distribution. Why are we producing? And there is something that struck me very much. I studied political science for 10 years. And of course, in political science, you talk about the big regimes, and you also talk about the economic system. And then you have the capitalist system versus the communist system. And you have one which is market-based, offer and demand. And the other one is strictly regulated by one institution, being the state. And you have a fight. I believe that in our world, from both parts of the iron wall, there is one similarity between these 2 systems. It's hyper-productivism. That you are on communism or capitalism, we were raised as producers. Study and produce. This has really to be changed. Because, as I said, infobesity, too much information, keep producing, but before people get really your message, you will have to be creative. Really creative. And moreover, we live in a society, in a world which is, I would say, hyper-individualistic. I don't have nothing against individualism. And if I'm here talking, it's also because I'm an individual with ideas, and I come and back. And others here are individuals who wanted to create the TED event here in Brussels, and they did it. So it's very good. Hyper-individualism can blind us. We need, everything I made, actually, for myself, is through the people I work with, my network, and that's so important that we take the good thing of individualism, but we also move to the teamwork and all this that sometimes in our society we kind of leave it aside. And for this, that's probably the final point I want to stress, is partnership. If you want to get your message across tomorrow on your own, I think you are a dead content creator. You need to work very hard, 30, 40, if not 50% of your time to find these partners. Otherwise, your content will be seen by you, your friends, and a few people. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you don't have a big media behind you, find the partners. And there is no limit to find partnership. It's only your brain. You have to find, okay, who could be more or less directly or indirectly interested by my content. You will find amazing partnership. When you approach them, never ask a partner something. Always offer a partner something. You are creating content. You have an amazing idea. You offer them something. Say, jump in my boat. Win-win. We have both. And then you will use their network to get your content across. That's very important for me. Then I'd like to finish with a little poesy. I don't know what to call it, but I think it's very interesting because I sometimes feel very insecure. I don't know what to do exactly to basically communicate or to do my stuff. And the more I realize it's like basically doing mistakes and trying stuff is what enabled me to move. So I would say here, anything you have in your head, just believe in it. Work, find your partners, find your audience, and don't just produce. And this is something by Samuel Beckett that says, ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail again, but fail better. So believe in yourself, in your ideas, and work hard to do it. Thank you very much.